Hello everyone, welcome to our whole class read for years 1 and 2. This is for the week beginning the 4th of May. Our story this week is called A Beetle is Shy and it's by Diana Hutz-Aston and Sylvia Long. Now you may recognise these names from last week because we read a story called A Seed is Sleepy by the same author and illustrator. So this is the next one, it's called A Beetle is Shy. You can see on the front page here all these different kinds of beetles, and wow, how clever they've made this sort of incredible pattern here. Can you see it's a symmetrical pattern? If you were to put your hand in the middle, you'll see the same on both sides. They reflect each other. It's very clever. I wonder if we'll see any more patterns in this book. So these are the next pages. Now I wonder why they've chosen this pattern for this page. Have to have a think about that, everybody. Wow! And I can see here they've included lots of different beetles. I wonder if there are any that you recognise. I think this one is a stag beetle. I wonder if I'm right. I'm not sure I can name any others. I hope I'll learn a few more by the end of this book. A Beetle is Shy. There's an illustration here. Looks like it's an up-close and personal illustration of this beetle. And it says here, the feather-horned beetle. Ah, well, we know why it's called a feather-horned beetle, don't we? Look at those horns in the front there. Looking quite feathered. The beetle is shy. It begins its life inside an egg, soft and wingless, tender, protected by the roots of trees and the undersides of leaves. And you can see just here a picture, egg case of spotted tortoise beetle. So that's where it used to live, and it's emerged. The egg hatches into a wriggling larva that feasts on plant and animal matter, growing quickly, shedding its hard outer skin, or exoskeleton, many times as it gets bigger. Wow, exoskeleton, that's a fantastic word. You could add it to your glossary, children. So as you can see, it starts off like this. These are the larvae. And then as it progresses, as time goes on, you see it shed its skin and get bigger and bigger. And as you can see, this is the sort of life cycle, the journey of a ladybird. And it says down here, convergent lady beetle. Oh, well, there you go, everybody. So actually, that's probably the proper name for a ladybird. Then the larva begins its transformation in a cocoon-like pupa, where it develops wings and antennae. Finally, the beetle twists and turns, squirming free of the pupa's leathery skin, and its body and true colours emerge. Wow, so you don't really see what the beetle's going to look like. Can you imagine when it starts off in these in the eggs? It's amazing to think that it's going to end up looking like this at the end. Who knew? Very exciting. Wow. The beetle is kaleidoscopic. What an incredible word, everybody. A beetle is kaleidoscopic. Shall we give that word a quick Google and check what it means? Kaleidoscopic. It's an adjective describing word. It says here, having complex patterns of colours. Complex patterns of colours. And you could also say it's multicoloured. Wow. Do you know anything that's kaleidoscopic? I wonder if you can use that word today to describe something, everybody. A beetle is kaleidoscopic. While many beetles are black or brown, some are iridescent or shimmery and rainbow coloured. So really helpfully, everybody, they've used that word iridescent, that's a fun word to say, and they've included some synonyms down here just to give you a hand with that meaning. So you could say this beetle here is iridescent, or you could say, it means the same thing, it's shimmery and rainbow coloured. Wow, what a fantastic word. And you can see as well, Diana Hutz-Aston has very cleverly labelled these different kinds of beetle. This one's called a golden target beetle. Wow! And I can see why it's named that. You can imagine, can't you, an archer shooting its arrow towards that target. How exciting. A beetle is colossal. Colossal. We know that word, everybody. What's that a synonym for? A beetle is colossal. A beetle is big. That's right. So, some beetles can be big, some are small, and this one is colossal, and it's called a Titan beetle. One of the largest insects in the world. The Titan beetle has mandibles, or jaws, it's a synonym, powerful enough to snap a pencil in half. Good grief, everybody. I wouldn't like to see one of those in the classroom. That would be frightening, wouldn't it? So a beetle is colossal or microscopic. Synonym for small, everybody. So they can be really big, but they can be really small. And this is the North American featherwing beetle. And as you can see, it's very small, and they've even included a picture of a needle there so that you can see just how small it is. The smallest beetle and one of the smallest insects in the world is the North American featherwing beetle. So tiny it could pass through the eye of a needle. Wow, microscopic. A beetle is tasty. What? I wasn't expecting that, everybody. A beetle is tasty. So just with that heading, what does that imply, everybody? What do you think this page is going to be about? I fear the same. Beetles are found on every continent except Antarctica. Oh, you remember your continents song, everybody? You can give that a sing if you want to remember some of those continents. And it says here, beetles are found on every continent except Antarctica. Why do you think that is? Might it be a little bit too chilly? I think so. Because they are so plentiful, because there are so many of them, and also protein rich. They are eaten by humans all around the world. So by protein rich, it means they're good for you. It means they've got lots of good bits in them. They keep you nice and full. Goodness, can you imagine? In the United States, you can snack on mealworm ice cream. In the Netherlands, you can try chocolate infused with mealworms. Good grief, everybody. Would you be brave enough to try and eat a bug, eat a beetle? Oh, I think I'd need to be convinced. So there's some different countries around here. And if you look carefully, it says next to each country how they eat beetles. So for example, in India, they eat stag beetle chutney. Goodness gracious. Maybe we'll need to do some tasting when we get back to school. A beetle is a digger. Some have legs that are wide and jagged for digging. Dung beetles are like bulldozers, rolling marble-sized balls of animal waste and burying them underground or on top of dung heaps. These are called the rainbow scarab beetle. Children, I didn't know they existed. A rainbow scarab beetle. And you can see on their front here, they've got this sort of rhino horn, haven't they, for their digging. Wow, very clever. This one's called a green tiger beetle. A beetle is a digger. A runner. Oh, I should have known it was going to say that. Can you see this beetle? It looks like it's running. This beautiful illustration they've done. They've made it look like it's sort of running over the book. Some beetles have long, slender, it's a synonym for thin. Some beetles have long, slender legs made for speed. The tiger beetle runs up to 2 feet, 61 centimetres per second. At that rate, this Olympian of the insect world can run 50 yards, or 46 metres, in just over a minute. Good grief, everybody, we wouldn't stand a chance. They are very speedy. A hopper. Some beetles hop. Flea beetles use their toes to catapult themselves about 13 inches or 33 centimetres high. Good grief, you wouldn't even see this one coming. Amazing, everybody. Or a swimmer. Oh, I was afraid of this. So not only can they jump really high and run really fast, they can also swim. Aquatic beetles seek meals of algae, insects, worms, tadpoles, and even small fish. Some have flattened legs like paddles for swimming. Wow, like flippers, that's incredible. Others glide like sailboats atop ponds and lakes, or speed beneath the surface as if they were skating on glass ceilings. Wow. This one's called the water gliding rove beetle. Part of me wants to see one and part of me thinks that would be quite frightening. A beetle is telegraphic. Children, I'm going to have to Google that one too. A beetle is telegraphic. Let's have a read, see if we can work it out. Most beetles send messages to each other using chemicals called pheromones. The scent of pheromones acts as a code that tells beetles where to find mates or food. Others talk to each other with squeaky, raspy sounds made by scraping their wings against their bodies. So that word telegraphic, so it must be to do with how they communicate with each other, how they talk to each other. Amazing. Fireflies communicate by, goodness gracious, bioluminescence, or glowing lights. They flash their signals to attract a mate, defend their territory, and warn away predators. Wow! So they can talk by flashing their lights. They don't really talk like we would, but they flash their glowing lights, and that's how they communicate with each other. That's how they convey messages. That is amazing. A beetle is telegraphic. A beetle is guarded. Have to think about what that word might mean. Guarded. Beetles keep themselves safe in many ways. The colours and shapes of some beetles, especially those that feed on plants, help them camouflage themselves or hide among the leaves and bark. So we've got an acorn. Oh, he's quite sweet, isn't he? An acorn weevil over here. And you can see he's almost the same sort of colour and shape as an acorn just here. So he's camouflaged against that acorn. Amazing. Some beetles protect themselves by emitting, that means just sort of giving off, a liquid that is toxic or poisonous. True to its name, the blister beetle secretes a toxin that burns the skin and causes swelling. Good grief! I would not like to meet a blister beetle. I wonder where you can find those in the world. Not the UK, I'd hope. Arrow poison beetles, oh grief, I know so many children who are going to enjoy this. Arrow poison beetles are so poisonous that hunters in some African tribes use the juice these beetles secrete on the tips of their small arrows to kill large animals. Goodness gracious, everybody. So this juice that they give off is so poisonous that some people use it when they're hunting. Amazing. This is the arrow poison beetle. He doesn't look that dangerous, does he? But I bet he is. Oh, a wasp beetle, and you can see by the similar colours. Beetles also protect themselves through mimicry, that just means copying, using colour and shape to warn away enemies. For instance, one type of harmless longhorn beetle looks like a wasp. So that beetle's very clever and thinks, right, if I look like this, if I look like a wasp, people will be frightened of me, think I'll sting them. Haha. Very, very smart. One kind of beetle, the bombardier beetle, releases a boiling spray that changes into gas, which stings the eyes and creates a smoke screen to confuse its enemies. Children, I did not know that beetles were this dangerous. Amazing. A boiling spray that changes into gas which stings the eyes and creates a smoke screen to confuse its enemies. I think we're going to have some beetle enthusiasts among you soon. That's the bombardier beetle. Cool. This is a bit more my speed. A beetle is helpful. That's lovely, isn't it? There's our little lady beetle or ladybird over there. Lady beetles, also known as ladybugs or ladybird beetles, there we are, and soldier beetles help keep plants healthy by eating aphids. Ah, now there's a callback. Do you remember from the Bad Tempered Ladybird, everybody? They help keep plants healthy by eating the aphids. A beetle is helpful or harmful. Oh dear. Weevils and other beetles eat the leaves, stems, and roots of plants, destroying many crops that humans rely on, such as corn, lettuce, wheat, cotton, and potatoes. In homes, spider beetles, about the size of a grain of rice, feed on wool, cereals, spices, bread, dried fruit, even pet food. Oh goodness, you wouldn't want one of those in your home, would you? Got a striped cucumber beetle over here and a boll weevil over here. Oh, that spider beetle. Really missed him. A beetle is prehistoric. I know some dinosaur and paleontology enthusiasts in year one who will know what that word means. A beetle is prehistoric. Very, very old. Fossils show that beetles inhabited Earth when dinosaurs did, almost 300 million years ago, making them millions of years older than butterflies, bees, and other insects. Wow! So they've been on this earth for longer than butterflies, bees, and lots of other insects. They've been on this earth for ages. Beetles are prehistoric. A beetle is armoured. Armoured. So we know that word armour, like wearing armour. If you're a knight, you might wear armour. You might wear things to protect you while you're playing football, like shin pads. They're a bit like armour as well. A beetle is armoured. There are more than 1 million known species of insect on Earth, which is more than half of all known animal species. Nearly half of insects are beetles. Unlike other winged insects, beetles have a pair of hard outer wings called elytra, hope I'm saying that correctly, that shield their delicate inner flight wings against heat, rain, and hungry predators. Wow, so clever. So they've got these special wings on the outside that keep the rest of their body safe, like an armour. Very, very clever. A beetle is shy. A newborn, soft and hungry, hurrying to seal itself into a cocoon where it can be still and cosy until it becomes what it was meant to be. Here's our spotted tortoise beetle. A beetle is shy, and then a beetle is bold. Goodness, look at that beautiful picture. Aha! And here we are, all our different kinds of beetle again. And here they're named. Oh, a rainbow stag beetle. I was right, everybody. A dead nettle leaf beetle. Oh, that was one of my new favourites. A spotted tortoise beetle. The blister beetle, do you remember him? Soldier beetle. Arrow poison beetle. Ooh. Feather-horned beetle. There they are. You can pause this and have a look at them all, everybody. There we are. There's those familiar pages again. And actually, if I look carefully, I can see this is a pattern that we might see on a beetle. Excellent, everybody. Thank you for listening. That was a long story and you've listened really, really beautifully. I've learned loads about beetles there and I really hope you've enjoyed it. I'll speak to you next time. Bye bye.